everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am a part-time reseller, which essentially means I sell items that people no longer want for a profit online. I sell my finds on platforms like eBay and Poshmark, and I do this as a part-time way of generating income for myself and my family. I've been doing this since mid-2019. I'm almost into my first full calendar year of 2020, and I want to share some tips and tricks that I have learned along the way, especially when it comes to shopping at the Goodwill outlet. The Goodwill outlet is my #1 source of finding items to flip online. The reason being is that your barrier to entry is incredibly low. You can find items for less than $1 and make some crazy, insane profit off of those items. Not every state has a bins location or a Goodwill outlet location. Sometimes it's referred to as the bins, but you're going to have to check for that yourself, see if there's one in your local area, and if not, see if there is one in a neighboring state. I'm personally lucky to have several available to me in my state. I've been to all of them, and all of them, even though they're different, all add value to my business. 2020 has been a very challenging year for resellers, and especially with the Goodwill outlet. Normally it is a completely different process, but now that we have restrictions in place and I don't see them being lifted anytime soon, I really wanted to make this video talking about 5 tips that I have learned when shopping at the Goodwill outlet, 2020 and beyond. The first thing you want to do is be prepared to have downtime. I cannot stress this enough, you guys. When I made the trip down to the outlet that I specifically go to most often, I was not prepared that time for all the downtime I would have. And what I mean by that is waiting around for the new bins to come out. So at the location that I'm shopping the most frequently at, it is a 1 person per bin rule, and you have to wait in line for the new bins when they come out. The first 3 people in line get to those 3 bins, and then it's the next 3 people for the next 3 bins, and so forth. So a lot of times you are standing in line for hours at a time. I know it sucks, but if you really want to make the Goodwill outlet an option for you, you need to be prepared for restrictions in place like that. Not every location is going to be like this, but there's ways kind of around it, and having you be able to manage your time wisely so that the downtime that you have is spent doing things that are going to produce income for your business. So those are sometimes referred to as IPAs. And what I mean by that is when you go to the outlet, be prepared to edit some of your photos, draft some listings, or post some listings. Use that time to send out offers to likers. Things like that, or offers to watchers for eBay. Things like that are really going to be important for you to do during this downtime, because otherwise you're just going to be sitting around wasting time and energy, and your trip is probably not going to be worth it. The second tip I have for you guys is to make sure you go through those old bins. And old bins, I mean the ones that people have already picked through. And a lot of times this is a huge common misconception that those bins are not good because several people have gone through them. So who's to say that there's anything good that's going to be left over? And I'm here to tell you that most people, when they're at the outlet, are not thorough. I am a thorough picker, and I try to touch literally every single item that is in that bin meticulously, and it takes a very long time, but I will tell you what, I have found so many things by being able to do that. Going through the old bins can be a way for you to save a lot of time. If you don't want to stand around in line for whatever reason, you can just go through the old bins and see what you can find. So that brings me to my next tip is I suggest not wearing gloves. And I know that might seem a little bit risky or a little gross, especially in 2020. But I'm here to tell you that you can always wash your hands. It's going to be okay. And that you should be shopping like that because you're missing out on so many items if you are not using your sense of touch. The longer that I've been into reselling and honing in on my skills, the more I've been able to realize that I was missing so many items when I first started because I was wearing gloves. I started wearing gloves when I first started in 2019, so this is before all this stuff going on in 2020, but I was simply using them because I was kind of grossed out about touching stuff just in a bin and digging my hand in. And trust me, I get it, I've been there, like I said, but it's really to your advantage to be able to use that sense of touch to find those high-end fibers. My next tip is to wear a mask. And of course that this is going to be regulated, but what I'm talking about is get in the habit of wearing it even when restrictions are lifted. That is something that I have never done before until the restrictions were put in place. And there were some people that were wearing them at the outlet before, and I didn't really realize how much of a necessity that was. The reason I say that is because there's so much dust and dirt and debris that is going around and moving around in the outlet. It's really to your advantage to use a mask and protect yourself. I didn't realize how much it was affecting my sinuses until I started wearing one, and I'll never go back. The final tip I have for you guys today is to try out different locations, because not all locations are good. And there are several in my area, like I said, and I love all of them, but for different reasons. So if I need certain items or I need to count on a certain number of items, I'll go to certain outlets over others. Definitely don't be afraid to drive. Travel within reason, you guys. There is stuff going on in the world, so be safe. Your safety is most important. But if you're talking about a few hours standing between you and going to an outlet, just take the leap and go. Make a day trip out of it, try it out, see if it works for you. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope that this video was helpful, giving you some tips and tricks to start shopping at the Goodwill outlet. It is still a viable option, even in 2020, even with restrictions. I really find that it is the absolute best bang for your buck. Paying less than $1 per item, the return on investment is pretty much unlimited. Thanks again for watching my video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!